God blocks you. And sometimes you misidentify God blocking you as people blocking you. Y'all not getting this. Okay, let's go this. March 1st, 1950. I heard a preacher talking about this, and I was intrigued. Can I take this turn right quick? I heard a preacher talking about this, and I was so intrigued with what he was saying that I looked it up. Now, he got many of the truth of the story mixed up because sometimes people put their own version. So I looked it up. I went in the archives. So March 1st, 1950, there was an explosion at Westside Baptist Church in Beatrice, Nebraska. Anybody ever heard this before? Oh, I love history. And it gained national attention. Does anybody know what unsolved mysteries is? Come on, wave your hand. You heard of unsolved mysteries. Okay, so here it is that this happened. Unsolved Mysteries televised this because this intrigued them. And this is the question that they put out. Is this a coincidence or is this divine intervention? So today I want to share this with you, and I want you to be the judge. I'm still preaching up in here. So here it is at Beatrice, Nebraska, at Westside Baptist, that they have rehearsal every Wednesday night at 7:20, like clockwork. Oh, come on, like clockwork. So this thing happened 5 minutes after choir practice was supposed to start. There was an explosion that destroyed the entire church. Oh, come on, get with me here. But there was something that happened. Out of 15 members of the choir, everybody was late. This is the first time, oh, you missed this. This was the first time that everybody was late. See, you're not getting this. So here it is that the blast was so great, it's at a nearby radio station. It blew them off the air. And windows shattered in homes. But check this out. This is what happened. Can I tell y'all about some of the people and why they were late? Because I want you to understand that sometimes the things that you are upset about are the things that God has put in place to protect you. Sometimes things don't work out the way you want it to work out, and you get upset about it, and you get in your feelings, and you're hurt, but you have no idea that this is God's plan. Can I go a little bit further? So here it is. They interviewed some of the people there, and on the radio, they said this. The mother, who was the choir director, expected everybody to be punctual, and most of the time, everybody was punctual. Say punctual. So by 7:25, they were singing. So at between 7:25 and 7:27, this explosion happened. Now, there are a couple of people, Vandergriff and her sister, two people, their car broke down. Their car broke down, and they had to wait for somebody to come and get them. That's why they were late. That's why they missed the explosion. Come on, y'all looking at me. And the pastor who came, and he actually was the one who turned on the heat, left to go home and to get his daughter and his wife. And when they got ready to walk out, the daughter had soiled her dress. And they had to stop and iron another dress. Y'all ain't hear me up in here. That's why they were late. Oh, y'all acting like y'all ain't feeling this today. I'm blocked, but I'm blessed. See, sometimes the thing you call ugly is God moving on your behalf. And there was another choir member. Can I go a little bit further? There was another choir member who was working on a letter and really wanted to finish it before they went to choir, and that's why they were late. There was a teenager who was having problems with a trig problem and was hell-bent on getting it correct before she left. That's why she was late. Oh, come on. Another man was taking care. I thought y'all would be standing and feeling Jesus, looking at all the places that you were blocked and re-looking at it and say, perhaps I have misdiagnosed the hand of God. And so here it is. There was another man taking care of 2 sons and didn't realize the time. Anybody ever got lost in time and said, oh my God, I didn't realize how late it was. It's like God sped up the time or something. And so here it is. That's why they were late. And then the pianist, the one who's supposed to be there 30 minutes early, said, I'm usually here 30 minutes early. But what happened? They fell asleep after dinner. Fell asleep after dinner, causing her and her mom to be late. Oh, sometimes the blockage is really the hand of God. Can I go just a little bit further? Oh, I know my time is moving quickly, but one last one I just got to share. This was Joyce Black. Joyce Black said, I was late because I waited to the last minute before walking out because it was cold. And so I waited. Now the crazy thing is, Joyce Black lives across the street from the church. Oh, this thing took me out. Oh, and she knows that pastor usually has the church heated. But God said, hold your place. Hold your peace. You don't understand what God is doing. So here it is, that it became a phenomenon. They said it was a coincidence. Or is it a miracle? I don't know, but 15 people. I don't even want to preach yet, but I feel a pull. When 15 people with 15 different agendas wind up in the same destination, they were in one place with one accord. Y'all thought that meant the same building, but it meant one place in spirit, one place in mind. God said, when the wind begins to move, his agenda is made manifest. Can you understand what God is doing? I just wanted to see if y'all were ready. That's just a part. I tell you, I feel this thing. Every time I read that story, I think about, oh my God, 15 people. And I think about how hard-headed we are. And we get them mad. And when we're delayed, sometimes we cuss the people out in the other car for getting in our way. God said, fool, you don't even know what's down the road. Yeah. Just seeing if you was ready. So here it is. We're still talking about undeniable. Can you give me about 15 minutes and I'm going to be out your way? This series is undeniable. And even in the story that I just told you, it is simply undeniable that this had to be the hand of God. Ain't that much coincidence with 15 people with 15 different agendas for God to move in that way and said, you cannot be a part of this. See, there's some things that God is moving in your life that you are interfering because you want to do what you see with your natural eye. So can we go a little further? So Numbers, can I talk this? So Numbers, let me tell you what was happening. This is Bishop's series, and this is where Bishop started. So I'm tag teaming with Bishop today. So let me tell you what happened in Numbers the 20th, because y'all started saying, when I say, listen, I have received the command to bless. We like that. God has blessed, and I cannot reverse it. We like that. And those are usually the things that we shout over. And so here it is. This is a conversation between Balak and Balaam. Did you get that? It's Balak and Balaam. Now, Balak was a wicked king, and Balaam was a wicked prophet. See, this is why y'all got to read the word, because a lot of the stuff you're dealing with is actually in the word, but you don't know about it. So here it is, a conversation between these two who made a decision to be in cahoots together to curse Israel. And so Balak Balak went to Balaam because he's a seer. See, not all prophets are called to God. You know, witches can see too. I need y'all to stop messing with this while I'm in the middle. Whatever you did, undo it. Don't touch nothing. And so here it is that they're having this conversation, and Balak said, I want you to curse Israel. I want you to begin to speak damnation over them so that fear can enter in them. So wait a minute. And I want you to understand, when God is in something, he makes it happen in the most crazy way. God would defy all odds. I put something on social media yesterday, and I said God would make grass grow in rocks if he really wants to bless you. And I know some people didn't get that, but this is what it looks like. So here it is, this wicked prophet who's going to speak over Israel. But the problem was, when he opened his mouth, the only thing he could do was pronounce a blessing over Israel. Let me bring that to your street. See, sometimes there's some people who made a conscious decision to speak damnation against you and your family, against your vision, and sometimes against your plan. But God will flip the situation that your enemies will begin to pronounce your victory. See, you don't believe it. That's why you're looking at me crazy. See, you think the only people who going to speak victory are on your side. But the God that I know will cause your enemies to declare who you are. That your enemies will begin to lift you and don't even know why. Now, wait. So then this is Balaam talking to Balak. He said, I've received the command. God has said that they are blessed, and I cannot reverse it. I cannot reverse it. Can y'all hear me okay? Because something is going on with this sound up here. And is he trying to block me today? I need y'all to have my back now. So here it is. And this is the good part that I like, because most of us, we know part of this scripture and we quote it, but we misquote it. You say, Pastor, I don't know that part. Yes, you do. So here it is in verse 19, that God is not a man that he should lie, nor, come on now, or the son of man that he should change his mind. You know it, tell your neighbor, yeah. Anybody heard that before? He has said, and will he not do it? Or has he spoken, will he not fulfill it? See, most of us quote that and we use it for our own advantage. But I want you to know today that this was actually Balaam, the wicked prophet or seer, saying this about God to Balak. He said, I would like to be on your agenda. I don't like Israel either. They get on my nerves. He said, but God has spoken blessings over them. And I can only do what God has told me to do. I don't even belong to him. But don't you know that's the kind of God that he is? That he creates things where there is nothing? So he told Balak, he said, he cannot lie. So if he said it, then it really shall happen. That's what makes him undeniable. Can I go just a little bit further? I tell your neighbor he's undeniable. So here it is that we realize that even in our stages of being blocked, because at this point, but Balaam was blocked because he couldn't do what he wanted to do. And oftentimes when we can't do or have what we want, we get upset with God and we say it's the devil. But actually, God said, fool, I'm trying to save your life. If I let you have what you think you want, not only will it choke my purpose out of you, it will take your life. See, there's some things you're crying over and that you have an appetite for that God said, I blocked it. They told you no because I blocked it. They don't want to be with you because I blocked it. They didn't promote you because I blocked it. You didn't get what you wanted because I blocked it. And you mad at the wrong person. Can I go just a little bit further? Because I know y'all, we was going to shout, but our enemy's blocking. Let's go to Luke 5:17. And I'm going to wrap this thing up. I'm excited because now I know why I was blocked. Even on yesterday, I know why I was blocked. There's some things I wanted. Even in this church, we were blocked for an entire year. And we thought it was the enemy who was coming against us. But really, God said, I need to clean house before I take you to your new thing. He says there's some things I need to do in you and for you. See, in the stage of being blocked, it's uncomfortable because especially we told other people what is really ours or what we're decreeing. But God said, I got to do some things in that period of blocking. So are we there at Luke 5:17? Can we read? So I'm going to start at 17b and I'm going to jump around a little bit. And I need you to just get with me. Now I'm going to start at B because it says, and the Lord's healing power was strong with Jesus. Now, it's weird to start there, but all this going to come together if you just hang out. Some men, verse 18, came carrying a paralyzed man on a sleeping mat. You might know this story, but don't get ahead of me. They tried to take him inside to Jesus. Don't miss that. They tried to take him inside to Jesus, but they couldn't reach him because of the crowd. Somebody say blocked. So they went up to the roof and took off some tiles. Then they lowered the sick man on his mat into the crowd right in front of Jesus. Verse 20, seeing their faith, Jesus said to the man, young man, your sins are forgiven. Verse 22, and Jesus knew what they were thinking and asked them, why do you question this in your hearts? So I will prove, verse 24, to you that the Son of Man has authority in the earth to forgive sins. Stay with me. Then Jesus turned to the paralyzed man and said, stand up, pick up your mat, and go home. Verse 25. And immediately as everyone watched, the man jumped. Oh, sometimes when you're in your dark place, you got to realize that it ain't just about you, but it's about everybody that's watching you. Tell church the person next to you, God about to do something crazy. God about to do something crazy in your life. And immediately, thank you, I knew something was wrong with that sound. I'm not crazy. And immediately as everyone watched, the man jumped up, picked up his mat, and went home praising God. Now, verse 26, everyone, say everyone. That means your naysayers, those that talked about you, left you hanging, picked at you, wouldn't get with you. Everyone. Y'all ain't saying everyone. Those who ain't talking to you no more. Those who say you think you're cute, you think you're all that. Everyone was gripped with great wonder. What the heck done happened here? And they praised God. Wait. You mean to tell me my situation gonna make them who talked against me praise God? Oh, y'all don't see that thing. This man outside, they done passed this man every darn day. And it says everyone was gripped with great wonder and awe. And they praise God, exclaiming, we have seen amazing things today. I'm about to wrap this thing up. Now let's go back to him being undeniable, because I want you to understand this story is familiar and most of us leave out the best parts. That's like people eating on chicken and leave all the meat on there and just eat the skin off. Yeah. So here it is that this man, and I don't want to get into the part that people shout about, the man being healed. I want to change your vision today because I want you to understand what was happening in this place, that Jesus is undeniable. So here it is that Jesus is in this place teaching, and the Bible says it was on a day. So you know that it's not on the Sabbath, but this is on a day that Jesus was teaching. And there were some people called trolls. Who knows what a troll is? Y'all, come on now, raise your hand if you know what a troll is. See, y'all, some of y'all that don't know, a troll is a person on the internet who's looking to keep foolishness up. They're looking for you to mess up. So there are trolls in the churches, trolls on your job, trolls in your family, trolls on your friend list. Open up your phone, all on your Facebook. I got a whole lot of trolls on there. They call friends. But what trolls do is that they look for your mishaps. They look for you to mess up. They look for you to say something wrong so they can say, aha, I knew it wasn't much to you. And so they identify and they put it out there and they try to make a mockery of you. Are you with me? Are you still with me? So here it is that Jesus is teaching. And so this man is outside who is paralyzed. And so his friends decide we got to get him to Jesus because Jesus had a reputation. This is what I need you to know. Jesus was teaching because what had happened before, Jesus started getting a reputation. Can I teach the text like I feel it? Jesus was getting a reputation. See, sometimes when God starts moving in your life and you start growing in the things of God, that people start looking at you differently. You know, you pray for people and they start recovering, and you start commanding things, and you start prophesying, and it starts happening. You start getting a reputation. And it might make you a little nervous, and it makes them nervous too, because they think you have a heads up. You have access to God that they don't have. So they're going to either get with you or be against you. Oh, come on now. And so here it is that they were looking in Jesus' teaching, and they are excited because what had happened, tell your neighbor, what had happened was early up in the passages, Jesus had just had Peter to experience an outpour of blessing. Come on, what that looks like is when the nets break. Come on, Bible people. And so remember when he told them to cast your nets on the other side, that had just happened in the scriptures above. So Jesus is getting a reputation because now he's performing miracles. And that's when Peter decided to follow him. So Jesus is collecting those who are following him now. He's building his team. Oh, come on now. And so when you start doing things for God, you realize who really want to be on your team, depending on how they respond to your miracle. Just keep looking at me. I'm coming. And so here it is that Jesus is teaching. And so then after that, Jesus is on his way, and a man with leprosy decides to come. And he asks Jesus, that's right up under where Peter was blessed. And Jesus is trying to do his business. And the man with leprosy said, please, will you heal me if it's your desire? And so Jesus go ahead and he heals the man of leprosy. And he told the man, he said, don't tell nobody. He said, don't tell nobody, but go to the priest and let the priest see you, and then whatever happens. But the man couldn't keep it to himself. Are y'all getting this today? Oh, no, see, I got another sermon out of that. You can't even keep a secret. Oh, yeah. The man couldn't keep it to himself. He said, I know Jesus told me not to tell nobody. But what happened was, because the man couldn't keep it, Jesus' reputation had gone so far. So by the time he got to this passage, everybody knew the healer was there. Oh, come on. That's why I started with, and see, y'all skip right over that verse 17. And the Lord's healing power was strongly with Jesus. That's why you got to underline that. So when Jesus went, he had an assignment. So after that, they said the healing power is here, and we got to get him before Jesus. Now, when they got ready to do it, the door was blocked. Oh, come on, y'all. You got to envision this. All these people saying, I need to be healed. I heard that man give blessings. I need some money. And he gave Peter all them fish. They just wasting fish. I need some blessings. Somebody said, I need my mind to be healed. See, I don't even know who I am. And then some people said, I just need my soul to be healed. I got mental issues. I just need to be in his presence. I don't know what anybody else needs, but I need to get there. And so his friends decide to bring him. Oh, can we go a little bit further? And so when they got to the door was blocked. Have you ever made a decision to do something, especially a hard thing, and when you get there, the opportunity seems to be closed? Y'all, and maybe I ain't talking to y'all today. For all those, if you're going to get with me today, the opportunity seems to be closed. And you like, oh, darn, I missed my chance. It is that junction. Now, I want you to realize that Jesus is undeniable, which is why I didn't want to get there. So here it is. Two things happen when you're blocked. And this is where your faith is challenged. I need you to write this down. Either you're going to get mad and you're going to quit, or you're going to get creative. Did you hear me? When you are blocked, either you will get mad and quit, or you will get creative. Now listen, this is the crazy thing, was when his friends saw that it was blocked. That's how you identify your squad. Because when you come up against things, based on what your squad says really does determine if they with you. See, yesterday I came up against some things, and my squad missed it yesterday. But they realized that that was their opportunity for us to go beyond the blockage and to get to the promise. See, you got to know that God's not going to make it easy for you to be blessed. You're not getting this. So here it is, and let me move a little quicker. That they looked at this door, and this is where creativity comes in. There are three things that happen when your plan don't work. Now, I need y'all to get this and get this in your spirit. And the first thing is revelation. You get revelation. You get motivation, and you get empowerment. Now, I told you I need you to teach this because y'all want to shout, but I need you to get this word so you can go home and you can say, I know why I'm blocked. So here it is that they standing there, and I need some friends like these boys. I need some friends that are wild, but they are ready. I need some friends who ain't scared to take risk. Some friends who says we are more than able. I don't need no scary people. I love y'all, but I don't need you on my team. So here it is that they're standing there looking, and I can envision one of them saying, hey, we're about to go to the next level. And so it said, we're going to the roof. Now, all the other friends had to agree because one of them couldn't get him up there. So you got to flow in the same vein. So they got revelation. There has got to be a better way. See, when your blockage comes, then the Holy Spirit begins to reveal to you that there is a better, more efficient way for you. And he causes you to go to God and to seek him for next. See, you got to understand that the blockage is not the enemy trying to stop you. Perhaps it is God trying to give you an alternative to better. Oh, come on, you got to get this. So your level of faith now is challenged. And so you realize that my faith has got to go to another place. I can't use the level of faith that I had last year, last month, or even yesterday. It also determines the will of your friends. And then motivation sets in. Because when God says, lift up your eyes, and then you get motivated, oh, I think we can do this. I need y'all to see these people on top of the roof. Because they said, we have got to get to this thing because he's undeniable. Meaning that your healing and your deliverance and your freedom is in the house. And we can't stop at the door being blocked because they don't want me to be in. So here it is that they were motivated now. So when you get motivated, you get cocky. You get bold, and you do things you've never done before. You start decreeing things you've never decreed before. See, I must be boring, y'all, because, see, y'all want to sit on the bank and tell God to feed you. I'm that want to walk on the water chick. I'm like, I'll come out there and get it. You ain't got to bring it to me. That's what this word is for. This word ain't for those that want a handout, but those that say, God, I'm ready to do what you have commanded and called me to do. I know it ain't easy, but I know that you have already built me to overcome. I won't stop at every door closed. I won't stop at every no. I won't stop at every hiccup. I won't stop at every obstacle because I realize so here it is that they're motivated. And when you're motivated, you start planning. You start planning. That's what happens to people at the beginning of the year. I'm almost done. People get motivated because it's a new year. You start planning. You said, I got fuel to take this thing deeper. I know somebody went home at the door, but I want you to imagine them people looking to go to the high place. They had to get a ladder or something, David, to get up on that roof. And then I can envision them getting up there saying, now what? See, you don't always know the end. God reveals when you start walking. See, most of us want God to tell us, tell me what you're going to do from A to Z, then I'll do it. He said, I want you to seek another way. They began to seek another way. They saw the roof. He said, how are we going to get up there? Go to the edge, and then you figure out how to get up there. When we get up there, how are we going to get in? He says, I'm going to show you how to get in, but you got to get up there first. And then what we do when we get in, he said, you got to get in. And then I'll show you what to do once you get in. Most of us get stuck. I'm almost done. They was motivated. They was motivated. This is what happened when you start understanding the will of God in your life. When all your plans didn't work, but you get motivated. You had ideas. I was going to finish school by now, but I didn't. But I'm motivated. I was going to have a house by now, but I don't. But I'm motivated. See, my credit blocked me. It's not necessarily that they are against me. I didn't do some things right. But God said you wasn't ready for a house because you can't even do right with the apartment. He said, but you got to know what to do with a little before I give you great. Oh, but I'm motivated now. And so you got mad because they passed you over for a promotion. You thought they were just tricking against you. God said you didn't know what to do with it. So I had to block you and put in position to learn so that you don't mess up the blessing. Sometimes your emotion will cause you to cancel the power and the anointing on your life for that destination. But they're motivated. Motivation means I have the fuel. That means I'm ready to go deeper. I know this is the juncture where I usually quit because some of us start out great in January. See, I go to the gym, and I had a little bit of an attitude because all them people who got motivated at the beginning of the year all on my equipment. I go to the gym on Sundays, and usually it's empty. But this last Sunday, David, it was so many people in there, and I'm looking around like, where y'all came from? And I realized that they're motivated. But we got to stay motivated. Yeah, we start out good. We write out plans. We say we're going to do, and we decree and declare. But we don't stay motivated because it sounds good. We put it all on Facebook in a post because it sounds good. But we don't stay motivated. Don't just get me to the roof and then say I don't know what to do next. Don't be motivated for part of the blessing. Be motivated for the fullness of that thing. You got to hang in there till manifestation hits your house. Number 3, after they were motivated, then they were empowered. See, that's the only way you stay motivated. There has to be an empowerment that comes to get it done. And so once they got up on that roof, Holy Spirit had to tell them what to do. He said, I want you to pull back the tiles. Now listen, can you go with me with this just a second? I envision them getting on that roof. How in the world did they know where Jesus was standing? From the roof. Because you can't see through the roof. That's what empowerment and discernment will do. It will give you insight to places that other people have no clue. And they'll ask you, how did you know that? How did you know to go there? How did you know to do that? Just on time. It happened in the nick of time. There's some things God do in your life, and they said, just on time. Let me tell you something as simple as this. I went to the dermatologist on Friday. See, I'm telling all my business today because, see, y'all, we having some issues because I ain't never had acne. At 16, I ain't never had acne. 15, and I turned 40, and oh my God. So I'm getting all these breakouts and foolishness. So I said I needed to go to the dermatologist, but the one I wanted to go to has like a 6-month waiting list. And so I kept telling Bishop, I said, don't forget to make the appointment. Make the appointment. Come on, y'all gonna get this. Make the appointment. And so Friday morning, I said, did you make the appointment? He said, I forgot. He said, let me go call now. So I had already positioned myself for 6 months. And so he called around 8:30. And so he comes running in the room. He said, can you be there at 10:45? Somebody canceled. And they say they're going to slide you right in. See, that don't seem like much to you. But I understand that God does things that are crazy. And when he wants to put you in the front of the line, he will create it. So once I got in and I went, so now I'm in and I can make my other appointments. I ain't got to go back to the back of the line. And so here it is. There was an empowerment while they're on top of this roof. I'm almost done, y'all. Y'all got to get this. Standing on that roof and Holy Spirit begins to speak to them, just like he speaks to you. And I want y'all to get this. And I heard people say this, a delay is not a deny, but it is a not yet. And that's the part you got to add. Yeah, you ain't denied, but it's a not yet. And sometimes it's hard when God says not yet. I know you want this thing, and I know being blocked is uncomfortable. I know you don't like it because you want what you want when you want it. But God says not yet. There's some things I got to do in you because the blessing is not just for you, but it's for those that are watching you. So God says not yet. I know you want to buy some things because you want to own some things, but God says there's some things I got to do in your flesh. So he says not yet. Oh, y'all ain't getting with me. I know you want to be in a relationship. Oh, you want to be all booed up because it looks good. Because everybody got somebody, but you don't even know who you are. They'll kill your identity. So God says, not yet. I know you want to be seen. You say, I want to be happy. I want to be able to go where I want to go. I want to travel the 7 seas. God says you're not even a tither. Not yet. You got to understand. So here it is, and I'm done. Here it is that they had to realize that it was God's will for them to get there. Sometimes God allows issues and blockage to come because it is a part of his process to get you to the promise. But most of us stop at the door because we don't like when things are uncomfortable, and we don't like when things are hard, and we don't like when things don't happen when we want it to happen. But you got to get a tenacity inside you. There has to be something inside you that helps you see the end of a thing, that you not get stuck. Revelation 3:8, and I'm done. He says, I know your deeds. See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. When you realize that God, and I'm done, when you realize that God has created an open door for you, it doesn't matter what you feel or sense is blocking you. It doesn't matter what you sense is stopping you. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's a habit. Sometimes it's an issue. Sometimes it's your fear. Sometimes it's disappointment. It's blocking you. But God said all of this is a part of my making. Because if you get it too soon, it'll kill you. I know you think you're ready, but you don't know you like I know you, says the Lord. I know you think you're ready. He let that man sit out there all that time paralyzed. And he said, you ain't coming through the door because the credit will be given to your friends. So you can't come through the door. You can't do this the regular way. The enemy's greatest weapon is average. And that is for us to do things like everybody else. He says, you can't come through the door. He says, I'm going to make it inconvenient. Because that's going to determine how bad you really want it. So the friends had to be with one accord, and the man had to be in agreement. He said, by any means necessary, I need to be before him. Blocked and blessed. You got to realize that things are not happening. Some of you have decreed some promotions and it didn't happen the way you thought. and it messes with your faith. And I'm going to deal with that. I'm going to be teaching a live called Broken Faith. You need to be on there when what you prayed for didn't happen. Here it is. God says, I know you're hurting, but even when it hurts, don't lose faith. Are you with me? He said, you're still blessed, even in the blockage. There are 2 things I need you to do when you're blocked. Write this down and we're done. You can stand. You got to stay focused. You have to do what? Romans 8:28, and we know that all things work together for good. For good. To them that love God, to them that are called according to his purpose. Now this is a privilege, and it is only for those who love God and those that are called to his purpose. Are you getting this? The second thing you have to do is be ready for the shift. Moving to the roof was a shift. I can imagine there were some friends that stayed at the door. That's in my mind. I can imagine some of the friends said, no, I ain't doing that. But there was some said, we're taking it. Because I got revelation that there's going to be a release up there. Stand on your feet. Stay focused. See the big picture. Stay focused. You got to see the big picture. Some relationships didn't work out, whether it's male, female, or friendship, because God blocked it. Not necessarily that they are a bad person. Sometimes you are not in a position to be in a relationship with them because you can't handle who they are. I've never seen so many people in generations that lose themselves to be with somebody. Sometimes you get that no because it's to save your life. You don't see it when you're in the middle of it. It hurts. Let's tell the truth. I wanted that job. And sometimes they overlook you. And sometimes y'all get mad and run and quit. God says, hold your place. You want to quit so bad, he says, stay right there. Because what I'm going to give you is so much bigger than anything they could have given you. But you're seeing it wrong. You want to be mad and say, I ain't talking to them no more, I'm done with them. He says, hold your peace. You blocked. But there's a blessing in my blockage. Oh. Come on. There's a blessing in my blockage. I feel I need to say this. Some of you want to move because there's pressure from other people. I feel that. Y'all better stop if you don't want me to feel it. You feel the pressure of other people. Sometimes it's your family, sometimes it's your friends, sometimes it's yourself. You block yourself. 2020 is the year of seeing better. You gotta see better. I need some people to see another way. So this prayer is about you seeing another way. Yeah, the door's blocked. Got to see another way. I need to see another way. This is not the end of me. I need y'all to start decreeing it. This is not the end.